Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just setting up our live streaming for today. We're live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and we're here in the Zoom room. So with that in mind, what we would love to do is just put on a little bit of a timer, which is your opportunity to check if your guests are online. In 30 seconds from now, we'll be starting. Alrighty, welcome online, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Firth here, founding Field Advisory Board member and Crown with Neumi. And we're live here in the Zoom room. We're also live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. And I'm coming to you from the beautiful Sunshine Coast in Australia. I love the fact that we're in 74 countries, which means people log in from all over the world. And in the chat, I can already see people from Western Australia, Colorado, Texas, Hamilton, Ontario, Southern Ontario, Canada, High River, Alberta, Canada. We have California, the Bay Area, Ontario. Gee, Ontario is winning today. Mexico, Canada again, Nova Scotia, Panama, New Zealand. I could keep going, but we'll be here all day. So welcome online, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be your presenter today, and we are presenting a very new presentation. The start is exactly the same, but as we get into it, you'll notice that it's a little shorter towards the end. And this is the first time this presentation has been tabled. Having said that, it is live already on YouTube if you wish to use it literally after this presentation. So before I start presenting, I just want to tell you a little bit of my background, because when I'm watching a presentation, sometimes I think, who is this person? How do they qualify to talk on the topic? What's their background? So bit of background for you. I've been in the home-based business industry for 40 years. I obviously started when I was 2 years old. Now I started at 18, I'm turning 58. I've also been involved in the nutritionist space for about 20 years, and I have never seen anything as amazing as you're about to see right now. So where do I fit into the picture? Well, essentially about 20 years ago, I was a national sales coach in the Australia-New Zealand mortgage market, and I loved my job with a passion. Maybe type in yes in the chat if you love what you do with a passion, because it's one of those most blessed things. If you do love what you do, you never work another day of your life. Having said that, what I found was the more money I earned as I got through the corporate world, then the less time I had. And my kids were the ones who came to me and just said, Dad, I hardly see you. And that's when I made the decision to get involved in this industry, and the rest is history. So I got involved in a company where I heard about the first glutathione breakthrough. You can hear about that today. And I don't make ridiculous projections. I didn't get to the point of Ferraris and Lamborghinis. They're not important to me. What I did get to the point of is I controlled my calendar and I had my life back for my children. And so I'd still be with that company, except for the fact that the founder of that company, Steve Scott, went into retirement, and that was the end of that. But Steve then came to me and said, I have just discovered the biggest breakthrough of my entire life, and I'm coming out of retirement. And I helped Steve find the first seed investor for this technology 8 years ago, nearly 9 years ago now. And then we launched in traditional retail. COVID-19 then swiped shut all the retail outlets, and we decided to pivot to go into home-based business. Smartest decision of our lives. We are now in 74 countries with over 250,000 members, and things are just absolutely flying. So with that in mind, I'm going to get into the presentation for you now, and we'll be done and dusted literally within 20 minutes from now. Feel free to time me if you like, guys. So who is Neumi, in case you're wondering? Let me turn that button off. Here we go. Neumi is the trailblazers and the innovators, and we are dedicated to revolutionizing health and wellness through our cutting-edge technology, which is called hydrostat molecular encapsulation. What does it do? It delivers nutrients to a cell in a way that's never been able to be done before. So what's the problem in the world? Well, it is well known that 90% of oral supplements are not absorbed by the body, and most goes down the toilet. And so only a fraction gets to where they need to be most effective in your cells. We solved that problem by inventing hydrostat now, about 8-9 years ago, as I said. And essentially what we do, our proprietary production process sets us apart, delivering them to a cell like you've never been able to do. Let me show you the 3 things that make us completely unique. Number 1, cell size. Our molecular ingredients are between 10 and 100 millimicrons. What's that? 10 nanometers. Let me put it in perspective for you. A layman approach. A human hair, I pluck one out every day. You can only just see that. That is 80 to 100,000 nanometers. Put that in your mind for a minute. If you want to penetrate the blood-brain barrier, you need to be down to 20 to 30 nanometers. Nobody is. Even the best of the best old technology now, 1965 technology called liposomal, is literally 500 nanometers down to maybe 50 if they're lucky. So they don't penetrate the blood-brain barrier. So that pushes them off the shelf. Precursors off the shelf. All the previous technologies to get nutrients to a cell are made defunct by what we're going to show you. So because we're down to 10 nanometers, we can absorb directly into a human cell like nobody else can. That's number one, cell size. There's ours, there's theirs. You don't have to be Einstein to work that out. Surface area, because we nanosize, we also get 200 times greater surface contact. You can see this picture. Normal nutrition only absorbs what it can touch. When you nanosize, obviously you get more surface contact as well. And then finally, we use ultra purified water molecules to deliver this, which are water clusters, which has never been done before. And your body loves water, and it's purer than a hospital IV. So lipids or liposomals that use fats can attract toxins. So this is the purest way to deliver nutrients, like never been done, as I mentioned. So now that we know we, like no other, are able to access the cells, and I might add there's been a Eurofin study to prove this, well, let's talk about the power of an ingredient called glutathione. If you haven't heard of glutathione, like I didn't years ago, what is it? It's the body's master antioxidant. It's the key to life, health, performance, longevity of every human cell, and it also is the only antioxidant that replenishes itself and other vitamins like vitamin C and D and so forth. It's the most studied molecule in medicinal chemistry. It's great to have the coenzyme Q10s and all these things, but none of them are anywhere near as effective. If you look on PubMed, there is 200,000 studies now on glutathione. When I started in the industry 20 years ago, there was maybe 40,000. Vitamin C had about 70,000 back then, 60, 70,000. They've only moved forward slightly to 82. So what does it say? Glutathione is the place to be because it's the most studied molecule. Doctors have things to say like, it's the most powerful antioxidant you've never heard of. One of the keys to fighting off disease, the fear that you fear the most. It's called glutathione. Dr. David Katz says if you're chronically run down or you're chronically fatigued or if your body's just not firing in all cylinders, maybe you felt like that, low glutathione is either the part of it, the cause, or the effect. Now, as you age, it is a clinical fact that your glutathione levels will drop the longer you are alive. You can see this line here, and that's about 18 to 20 years of age, and then it starts to drop. And look at this little line here, oxidative stress. They call it the silent killer. And that is what leads to inflammation that then leads to 80 different diseases. So if you can keep glutathione levels high, keep the oxidative stress low, then that's obviously good for the body. So continuous attacks on your cells by invasion of toxins, heavy metals, radiation, free radicals, they all create the aging process. And any things like trauma in the cells, like injuries, infections, disease, obviously have an even bigger impact. And if you are an athlete, we have world champions busting world records on these products. And they say that 40% of your internal built-up levels of glutathione are depleted in the first 10 minutes of aerobic exercise. That's why our product makes such a difference like no other. So what are the benefits of glutathione? Well, there's an extensive number of health and performance and anti-aging benefits. If you have low glutathione, have a think about this. Does any of this impact you or any of your family? Weakened immune system, physical, mental fatigue, muscle weakness, aches, inflammation, premature aging and disease, dull and dry skin, grey hair or balding, brain fog, headaches, digestive issues, allergies, weight gain. All of those things are linked to low levels of glutathione. If you have optimal glutathione, what is possible? Boosted immune function, sustained mental and physical energy, optimal athletic performance, balanced inflammation, delayed aging and disease, radiant skin, decreased balding, balanced digestion, reduced allergic reactions and weight management. So obviously having optimal levels is important to everybody. So now that we've talked about that, let's talk about the breakdown of our products. First one, I want to say our products are not designed to treat, cure, or prevent any disease. And that is a critical thing for any nutrition product in the world to say. But what's one of the problems? Well, if you take glutathione orally, it'll get destroyed by the digestive process. And as I said, there are old-fashioned precursors, had a way of trying to get through the gut, as long as you don't have gut issues. Then that have liposomal, trying to touch more of a human cell. Now, what we've been able to do, as I said, is nanosize and get it straight into your cells. So with this product, NutraSwish, the very first flagship product we created, it has glutathione instantly, within 30 seconds into the bloodstream, 70 seconds into your organs. But it also has cysteine, which is a building block of glutathione that your body needs to produce more. Now, we've recently tripled the formula strength on that, so you continue to produce glutathione ongoing. You may not know this, but curcumin, vitamin C, other nutrients like that become more potent when they're doubled up with glutathione. So you get immune boost, joint support, clean and sustained energy, and rapid recovery with this product. Another problem out there is skincare rarely gets past the first layer of the skin. Why is that? They say it's 0.03% that gets past, and that's why they have invasive treatments where, the beauty therapists do all these things to try and get nutrient absorption. We've gone around that with not needing to because our particle size is so small. So we use this skin spray, which is glutathione, but it's also hyaluronic acid, which attracts moisture from the skin, from the air, curcumin, which is a great antiviral, and then collagen, which is like the springs in your mattress that tightens your skin. And so when you use this product, people are blown away. Wait till you see the photos in just a minute. It helps reduce pore size, smooths skin texture, lifts and firms, brightens and evens the skin tone, reduces the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, and fights skin aging pollutants. Now, another problem is to find a clean solution for energy and focus. Type in yes if you know anyone who drinks toxic, carcinogenic energy drinks. It's scary. They're all over the world, and people are blindly consuming this stuff, gobbling it up, not knowing what it does to the body. So a clean option is Neuro. So we use arginine, magnesium gluconate, L-theanine, caffeine, and lots of other ingredients which are already proven for brain cognition health, but we deliver them like never before directly to the human cell, which causes enhanced memory, improved mood, increased focus, rapid energy, and heightened cognitive performance. Now, a good friend of mine is Dr. David Larson, not Dr. David Larson, David Larson, who heads up the American Brain Council. And he actually is utilizing this product and seeing fantastic results, so they've endorsed it. Now, another problem is that environmental disruptors are actually having a negative impact on women's health. So how do we solve that? We took the same hydrostat process and we have created a product that delivers botanicals, which are also proven to improve women's health, but delivered directly to a human cell like never before, amplifying the results. This product has a double-blind placebo-controlled test saying 80% of women have a phenomenal result, alleviating bloating, cramps, and PMS, supporting healthy hormone function, hot flashes and night sweats gone, and enhancing mood and overall well-being. And for the guys, I've also found it increases libido, and I'm not talking about me. So moving on, hair. I just put something on my profile a minute ago on Facebook about this amazing product. Healthy hair and scalp can be elusive due to issues like dryness, dandruff, thinning, hormonal changes, all sorts of factors. So we use the same concept of delivering these nutrients like never before into the scalp, absorbing like other products can't, and proven hairs that products are used for hair health, which then causes hair strengthening, scalp health, moisture and smoothness, heat protection, increased hair density, etc. So I'm going to go through some testimonials now because it's great to hear the science. Well, what does it look like? Well, this one hits home so hard. Bill Gillespie is a 62-year-old powerlifter. Now, I knew him in the previous organization where we had a glutathione precursor. I'm starting with this for a reason. At 49 years of age, using that glutathione precursor, he went out and busted world records with 364 kilograms in a bench press. Now, as he got older, you would imagine, obviously, he starts to lift less. He was still using that glutathione product till we came to him and said, we've got glutathione delivered in a different way. We wonder what would happen. And at 62, look at this, 364 kilos, world record. He had started to drop and boom, he went to 512 kilograms in a bench press, setting a brand new world record they said will never be equaled again. So that's an older athlete. What about a younger guy? I know this guy quite well because he's from my DNA. This is my son. 24-year-old. I should update that. He's 26 now. In week 3 of his training using the product, he said, I'm hitting personal bests from my competition already. Week 4, he did more personal bests and started winning comps. Now, he's still using the product today. So young people need it, old people. But it's not for sports. It's for everyone. So let's talk about normal everyday health. Well, this is Danae. She's from Louisiana, 34-year-old. She said as soon as she started using NutraSwear, she immediately had more energy. And then when she started using the Hers product, Her mood swings, bloating, and breast tenderness just disappeared. No PMS symptoms. This is a good friend of mine from Hawaii who's now moved actually to Florida, and that's Jeannie. And Jeannie's 55, and she says that neuro is a noticeable cognitive focus, memory, clarity, energy boosting, get a ton of stuff done. Swish, she won't go a day without. And she says most people know she has attention deficit issues. And since she's been using the product, she's laser focused and people have noticed it. Now, again, I said it's not about athletics. This gentleman here is a great friend of mine from Louisiana, 61, who had an injury. And after suffering for about a year with severe discomfort in his neck and shoulder, 48 hours after using the product, he said, I slept like I never have all night long. And now he has no discomfort at all and he's back to an exercise regime. Let's talk about what's happening visually on the outside. So this is Elaine, and she's from South Australia. Now, the lady I mentioned who's a skincare educator who told me only 0.03% of skincare absorbs past the first layer, this is her client. And she was blown away when she compared the photos. Now, Elaine did not lose any weight. Look at her neck. You're going, what? She seriously looks like she lost weight. What happened is the collagen has tightened it up, okay? Not only that, look at the appearance of redness, fine lines, and pore size. 4 weeks. 17 days in Indonesia, different skin types here. Look at that. She said before using the product, her skin was dull and rough, you can see. And after, her skin became soft and clear. They love this in the Asian markets. And of course, since using the NutraSwish, she said she's sleeping deeper and feeling much more stronger as well. All skin types. This lady's from Nigeria, 3 to 4 times a day for 4 weeks. Look at the difference in the evenness of the tone. That's melanin it's affecting, right? Then this lady, I love this example because I was not spraying my neck and wasn't thinking about it. I was just spraying my face. And I've been blessed to be using this for nearly 8 years now, 9 years. But this lady's neck transformed. And so I started doing the same, and I have had the same thing. My neck tightened right up and all that little turkey neck starting to appear just reversed, which was fantastic. This is our longest poster child, my beautiful friend Sherry from Indiana. She was the very first person we gave the product to, and this is what can happen in 6 years. Look at the difference. Then we moved into the hair product. And Rick was one of the first people we included in the trial. And he said, given the results you can see here, I'm going to continue using it after a month. And then, of course, this example is a lady as well. And this, after 5 months, she started to put her shoulder-length hair in a ponytail. And you can see the difference it makes with strong hair to your confidence as well. And we thought we'd put Sherry back in here because not only was she 62 and her face changed, look at her hair. Unbelievable. So if you want to see more of these, there's only one Facebook group that I recommend you go to because this is the company-run one. And if you search Neumi New You in Facebook, you'll see before and after photographs, testimonials all around the world. And then let me talk about our vision. This is my beautiful friend Steve Scott, who said he'd found this amazing breakthrough way back when we talked about getting some investors. Steve, if you don't know him, you have seen him on TV. What do I mean? Well, Steve was behind the Total Gym with Christy Brinkley and Chuck Norris with $4 billion in sales. Any infomercial you've ever seen with a Hollywood star was Steve. That was his gig, and he's the most respected person in direct response television. He was about to retire, as I mentioned, until he came up with this amazing breakthrough and wanted to share it with the world. Thank God he did. We then brought on Aaron Rennett, our CEO, and he is the most field-driven CEO I've ever known, and listens to the field. And that's why we hit the mark so fast and are growing so quickly. We also have a science and medical advisory board, which is dwarfing the rest of the industry and make them very jealous because we have Stanford heart transplant surgeons, Mayo Clinic scientists, gene expression experts, all having used every single form of glutathione and nutrition delivery in the past and said every one of them unanimously says nothing. Full stop. Nothing has ever produced the results we are seeing using this delivery method. So you can see them if you go to neumi.com. So in terms of execution, we could have done absolutely anything to deliver our products, but we decided not to go down the infomercial side. In fact, we picked home-based business. Why is that? Well, statistically, I'm 58, as I said, or turning 58. The industry is twice my age. In the last 12 months, the industry grew 6% with 207 billion in sales and over 180 million people involved. But our stats blew that out of the water. In just 4 years, we're in 74 countries with 250,000 members. Now, why have we grown so fast? One, there's a product that does things no other product can even wish to do. Two, we pay way more compensation-wise because our cost of production is so low. There isn't a company out there that can afford to pay what we pay. And now let me talk about those benefits. So we're not here today to go into a deep dive to the compensation plan. I'd encourage you to watch another presentation for that. But here's the way you can leverage for yourself the power of Hydrostat. Firstly, zero membership fees. We don't believe in charging membership fees. There are companies out there, believe it or not, charging a monthly subscription fee of $10 to access their product at wholesale. We give you access to wholesale for free, right? There's also membership perks. I'm looking at a lady on the screen right now, Janine, who used our travel platform we give you for free. And she used it the other day to get $20 a night off a hotel. You can get up to 75% off hotels. Companies charge you $1,000 a year for that platform. We give it away for free. Okay. Membership wholesale pricing. Once you're a member, you don't pay full price without a membership fee. And then, of course, free business building tools, industry training and marketing assets. Everything's done for you. You don't have to come in here and create a system. We have one called Neumi 123, which is translated into every language worldwide, and everyone does everything exactly the same, which is like a franchise. Very important. So compensation. We have weekly commissions and monthly commissions. Now, on the weekly commissions, there are 3 different ways you can earn commissions, and you'll get paid 7 levels deep on that. Not just the people you introduce, but them, all the way 7 levels deep. But we also have 4 ways you can earn monthly commissions, and they're paid not just on 7 levels, to infinity. To infinity. Now, for full details of the compensation plan, the person who invited you can send you a deep dive into the compensation plan overview. Today, we're just going to treetop the subject. But if you're watching us today for the first time, maybe you just want to get your money back and, have your product for free. That's easily done. Introduce a handful of people and off you go. Maybe you want to, residual income. What difference would $1,000 a month come to your household right now make? You could do that with, a little bit of side gig effort. Or maybe you want to build a legacy asset like myself, where I wanted to will that to my kids. And when I'm gone, the income continued. That was the goal for me. No matter which one of those categories suits you, Neumi is an option for you. So you're going to fall in one of 3 categories as we wrap up. Number 1, you're ready to get started. So contact the person who invited you and off you go. Maybe you want to check out the comp plan first. Well, send it through to you or other information. Or maybe you just need more information altogether to mull it over. And either answer is fine with us. So I want to thank you for hopping on today for this presentation. I want to tell everybody this presentation is now live already and had 30,000 views. If you go to the Neumi YouTube official channel, and you can use that to send out to everybody. This presentation will also be added to the app that is getting an upgrade in about 2.5 weeks from now, and then you'll have that in your app to send out as well. So again, thank you for joining us today. Hope you joined us. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.